The time has come. This sale over at Crimson Guitars is coming to an end in a day or two, and that is your last chance to get tickets to win this guitar at a subsidised price, because every £10 you spend up to £300 gets you £1 off a ticket at dailyguitardraw.com to win this. And my thought was, hey, beast through it. Finish the guitar in one day. You can do it. You can build a whole guitar in one day. And I'm standing here cogitating. I've had a little bit too much coffee, and all the boys at the other side of the workshop heard was me saying, don't do it. And their heads go, yeah, I'm seriously considering slowing things down, taking some of the Redwood veneer and inlaying it into the headstock. Other jobs that need to be done, not necessarily today, is I do want to inlay silver solder, solder around the outline to pick it out and also fill any and all gaps. We need to route the pickups. I'm not going to bother filming that. You've seen a lot of routing in this build, so those will just be routed. I need to carve the back. I would like to at least see what this looks like under finish by the end of this episode. But, well, round and round the merry-go-round goes. Round and round it goes. I don't know. I've lost language. So, yeah, cut that bit out. Or leave it and make me look like a fool. On with the build. Let's do some drawing. This is a neck that was off one of our old SRP kit guitars. We no longer make kit guitars. We are moving full steam into custom guitar building, custom shop production guitars here. The kits were a process of learning how to build instruments with efficiency and panache and precision, which is why we've got so many things that weren't quite to spec that I can now customize and change. So enough talking. The headstock it works. It actually works. Maybe we make it a little bit pointier, like so. But what I've really got is an opportunity to inlay the redwood, or the easiest option is just to sit it on top. And this is a look that people have done quite a lot, where you've got ledged, a ledge essentially, a 3D kind of a look without too much difficulty. Now, obviously, you need to bear in mind the size of the bearings. He says just drawing them on and guessing, but you can have a pretty cool effect just by doing this. This is true faux binding. Ha! I like it. I don't know. I think the corners need to be in the 45-degree spot of those. So when I'm doing this, I'm using my finger as a depth stop. That is trick number one. I like those two need to be basically even, in my opinion. And following the curve. And then we can add a little bit of subtle shape to the headstock by going in, so starting closer in and then moving out like so. After the fact, I might also just slightly change the curves here. I think that feels a little bit too flat for me. We could just make it a little bit more slinky. And it's this tiniest little shape. Just a little bit more of a curve will improve the whole aesthetic of the guitar. And it's caring about these details, it's laboring over these details that makes the difference. I'm not doing this. I am not doing this. I refuse. Would it not be absolutely hilarious if, instead of inlaying this into the inside, I left the sapele in the middle and I inlaid a solid piece around the outside? Basically cool binding, cool shape. ironic. But no, I'm not going to do that because that really would be even harder. I don't want a center line. Okay, a little bit of tracing paper is always useful. As is the ability to remember to tape tracing paper down and draw nice curves. I did one of those things, I think. Make it slightly oversized. Yeah, that's actually not bad. So yeah, some sort of truss rod cover cut out of the redwood could be good. That is not, however, the shape. Not by a long shot. I'm thinking straight lines, basically. So yeah, let's 10 mil, 10 mil. A circle jig is eminently useful in a guitar building workshop. I'm not sure if I want to inlay this piece out of the same material as the veneer, so the grain is doing all of that, or if I want a separate piece, maybe actually of sapele to match the outline. I'm not sure. What do you think? I mean, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and it's going to happen before the comment gets made, but it's a removable piece, so maybe I'll do both. I have to say, I'm loving this look. Oh yes. Who needs templates? It must be said, I am not doing this because of this comment, but the last video was titled "Who Needs a CNC Machine?" And yeah, I was using laser cut templates to inlay the top of this instrument. I'm not using templates for anything on this one. Who needs a CNC? Who needs templates? Most sane people. Most sane people. Anyway, let's go and inlay this thing, shall we? Okay. Inlay saw, fine tooth blade. If I'm very careful here, I'll be able to inlay this piece in and it'll be pretty seamless. The trick is I'm not putting very much forward momentum into this blade. I'm not pushing, I'm not adding tension. I am running out of space at the end of the end there. So yeah, I'm gonna have to pull out now. If you're forcing matters, that is when issues happen. If you're just letting a sharp blade just pull its way through, generally you should be okay. You'll need a tad of tidying up. I'm going to have some sort of a silver outline or black or something to to account for the sanding and the saw curve, but that actually adds to the whole effect, and it's pretty cool. I have got the internal shape of that sorted. I'm happy with that, and now I need to it's basically a normal standard guitar inlay, just slightly larger in a kind of weird spot. So there we go, and the fretboard's in the way, so I'm not going to use a router. Reposition the design that I now have, that is set, so that nothing is confused, and then mark this beautiful thing out with a scalpel blade. And there we go. Again, using the 0 on this crimson ruler, just make sure everything's where it needs to be. I'm happy with that. Okay, with that nerve-wracking thing done, it's a simple case of marking out with a scalpel blade, being careful not to go too far, of course. The clamps are somewhat in the way. This should give us a very, very nice, very tight fit. Well, there we go. Now once you've got your initial cuts made, the scalpel blade just wants to follow along in what you've already created, unless you've got a particularly cantankerous and annoying bit of grain which could lead your scalpel blade astray. So yeah, we need to watch out for irresponsible, poorly parented grain lines, and keep them away from your fine, upstanding scalpel blade cut. Keep it on the straight and narrow. I'm losing the plot. I'm actually going to stop for lunch now. I think that's yeah, what my problem is. Another coffee. Now, using a chisel to do this is actually pretty risky, really. If you slip and go over the edge, well, it doesn't bear thinking about. But also, well, I'm in the mood to do things. I want to get in from that side. This is in the way.
In my diary, can I?
So once you've got your initial cut made, then you run along with the scalpel, make it a bit deeper, and it becomes an easier process as long as you've got a properly sharp chisel. I have tutorials on the channel about how to sharpen chisels and the like. Check it out. And it does become a relatively simple thing unless you drop your clamp like that. And also, I'm holding onto my chisel with as much physical contact as possible on both hands. I have, or at least I hope I have, total control over where it goes. I'll clean up that inside line once I've got all the rest removed, I think. Whew. Well, that was something. From here it's just removing it, going down, and you don't need to watch every second of it. I only filmed all of that because there was a chance that I was going to absolutely mess up, and you would want to see that bit. I am fairly happy with the process now. This is the first time all year I've actually fancied a stool to sit on while I work though, which is interesting. Okay, I could go deeper, but I've got a live stream now. Daily Guitar Draw live stream giveaway. And I'm not actually going to glue this in right now. There was just a little bit of a ridge in the middle, and I've just with a little bit more chiseling getting to the point where I'm happy. I am not bothered by the final result being a perfectly flat entity. Frankly, I'm probably going to sand the top of the insert so that it is flush at the edges, but a little bit curved in any case, because well, quite frankly, I like the look. The front of the headstock does not have to be flat. All of this being said, the real question is, what the hell am I doing for the logo? More solder? Since that seems to be the name of the game. And if that's the case, yes, that is the case. That is the case. Okay. That there is seated perfectly. We're inlaid. There's no gaps, or no major gaps. You can just see a bit of a line there, but oh no, that was a shadow. There are no gaps. That may well change. I am going to leave this to dry over the weekend. I'm not going to inlay this in and glue it. I might want to reduce a little bit more of the material in the middle there. But what I really do want to do is come in, cut a Crimson Guitars logo in there, all the way through, drill the holes, precision holes, etc., and then glue it down, because at that point I can, well, it means a much easier application of the inlay. This has been absolutely opposite to what I had planned for today. Yeah, genuinely. The second I pushed record, everything went sideways. That's just the name of the game at this point. In the next episode, this will be glued. the inlay will be created. The body is going to have triple P90s routed into it. The back of the body will be carved. Well, there's going to be some sanding, some finishing, some colour. As this video goes live, the Crimson Guitar sale, the biggest one for a long time, is still on, and for every £10 you spend up to £300, you get £1 off tickets to win this guitar potentially. Please, you need quality guitar building tools in your life, and a guitar building school, courses, etc. Check it all out. We would love to have you here. After that, this is going to be live for a couple more weeks, and you will be able to buy tickets as per usual on Daily Guitar Draw, with part of the profits going to sorting out, creating, building physically the Dorset Guitar Museum. You guys rule. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Goodbye.